This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we discussed about like regional pace, region, availability zone, other stuff, right? Now what we will discuss, right? We will discuss about we launch the VM today. Before creating the VM, no, we need to understand some two concepts here. Okay. So these things are not present in the other clouds. Like if you take uh, Amazon, AWS, right? You won't have this. Yeah, one second. Yeah, subscriptions. If you take a company like TCS, okay, it may be having like thousands of projects. Okay, so let me grow. Okay, if you take some TCS, right, it may have some 10K servers. Now you like for a service company like TCS, Capgemini, CTS, and Infosys, right? Now everyone is working from home, so you are not using your desktop. Okay, now what happens, right? Let us assume like there is something like billing, right? So whatever the resources you use in cloud, you should be billed. Okay, and as a TCS guy, right, there will be something like for billing management and all those, right? You will be having something like a group management group and subscription. Okay, now if you see TCS is present in different, like it will be having different verticals, right? You will be having some human resource, IT, marketing, if they are selling some products, and you will be having some other stuff. If you say human, HR, right, human resources, you will be there will be some subdivisions. If you take some IT, it will be splitted across region, and there will be some multiple projects. So this core subscription, what will have, right? It will have the accountability. Like for this subscription, a bill will be getting generated. Okay, so how I have to tell? If you are buying something, right? If you buy in retail, right? If you use some 10 or 20 machines, you will be billed, like you will be charged more. But if you buy anything as a whole, means like if you buy in bulk, right? Your expenses will be like you will be paid less, or you will be like what to say? You will be getting for cheaper rates, no? In the same way, if you want to organize your billing, no, because in one console if I create some 10K accounts or 10K machines, no, we can't, you can't filter it out which machine belongs to which one, right? So we will use the subscription for every resource or every anything whatever you create in Azure, right? There will be two things that will be attached. One is something like subscription, and another will be the resource group. Subscription is something like, if you take, this is the project one. Okay, in this project one you may have, I will take to the another slide. Yeah, this will be the hierarchy. Here you will be having multiple management groups. Okay, this may contain like multiple sub locations or like multiple projects. Okay, in that, right, each project will have multiple environments. Okay, now this is the project A, this is the project one. Okay, this is project two, and each project will have multiple environments, no? Like it will be having something like dev environment, you will be having test environment, you will be having production environment, and like dev test environment, something like. If you are having multiple environments, right, you will group all the resources under resource groups. Means for any instance or any network interface or any database or anything whatever you create, it should be tagged to something like subscription or resource group. So any virtual machine or anything whatever you create, even it is a hard disk or like it is a disk or any resource, these are the core things. It should be either tagged to subscription, because the billing will be done here, and something like resource groups. if this is a project A, under that I will be having multiple environments. Okay, so in, let us assume there is one example. Okay, so in my test environment, okay, I am having some 100 servers. Okay, some 100 servers I am having. So if I want to delete these 100 servers, right, it will take a lot of time. Instead of that, right, I can delete this resource group. So all the resources whatever you create, right, this will be tagged to one resource group. Okay, if you want to do any manipulation, if you want to delete or terminate, right, just terminate this resource group. This resource group will create it, it will clean up that environment itself. Hope it is clear. So if you create any resource, right, by default it will ask for subscription or resource group. Both it will ask. Subscription is something like this. You can control your privileges in the subscription also. Okay, subscription means like there will be some models like pay as you go or trial version. Like that you will be having multiple subscriptions. Okay, and so if you take the definition, right, subscription is the subscription. A subscription is logically associated user accounts and the resources that were created by the user accounts basically. Okay, and if you see the resource group, right, it is the logical container in which you will put all these resources whatever you consume. Okay, basically what is a resource means anything you create in the cloud is a resource. Either it can be a machine or a storage or a database, anything whatever you create, right, that is called as a resource. Like in office you will say like resource is printer or some other thing, right? Likewise whatever you create in cloud is a resource, and we'll group them as a resource group, and this resource group belongs to one subscription. Okay, you will have some pricing calculator. So if you want to know the cost, this one I'll ping in the chat window. So this pricing calculator helps to estimate the cost basically. So there are like different services, whatever you are seeing right here in featured, these are all the capabilities that are being offered by the Azure. So in that you are having compute. In compute, you know, virtual machines are nothing but some physical operating systems that will be running. Okay, it can be like Linux or Windows or whatever. Okay, and compute means it will have some processing power you will execute. Okay, in that you will be having something like containers. You know about these containers, right? Containers. Azure functions is something like you will be executing the serverless code. Means like you don't need to deploy any, just you write the code and deploy and it will run. Okay, there is one service called as a app service. This is yesterday we discussed, no? Like you will be having like a infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. In platform as a service, what I told, you will be given all the, like if you are developing a Java application, you will be giving an environment with Java install that comes under the app service. Okay, so like that you are having like multiple. So if I want to purchase this virtual machine, no, just have to click on this one. I will take one example. Just here you are having so many like databases, containers, mobile, DevOps. In DevOps also you'll be having multiple tools. Okay, so just I'll go to, like if I want to use some 10 virtual machines for some 1 month. Okay, and here I am selecting the operating system. Like here by default there are like Linux and Windows. So if I use Windows, and there will be some tier, okay, basic, low priority and standard. Okay, so you have to use this one is important, right? So this is where your the billing will be decided on based on your configuration you choose. Whenever you purchase a laptop or an computer also, you will be seeing like what is the core I want, what is the RAM I want, and what is the hard disk I want, right? So here you have to select your, so if I choose my 16 vCPU, sorry, yeah, 16 vCPU, 50 GB RAM, and some 800 GB temporary storage, so you have to pay something like 4,000, 14,000. Okay, if you choose something like a Linux system, because this Windows will have some licensing, no, this will change. The same thing for the same configuration, monthly cost is 8,000. Okay, likewise you have to add your whatever you want, right? Storage or networking or databases. In databases also you will be having multiple databases. Based on that you will be build. I'm not going into this one detail because it is just a self-explanatory where you have to just click and see the price. Yeah, so basically, right, for any as I mentioned earlier, no, uh, whenever you put anything in cloud, right, it is vulnerable to attack. So there will be some standards that are being set by different entities. Okay, so you have, right, something like in industry standards. There are some industry standards like you have to encrypt your hard disk, or you have to, while sending your data, you should encrypt it. So it's like that there will be some standards that is being set by different entities. Okay, so this Azure will compile this one. Okay, it will comply the rules of this what to say, EU, okay, US. Okay, these are the multiple entities. And Azure, even though the Microsoft encourages like proprietary thing, right? So in Azure, right, it is an open cloud basically. Means if you spin an instance, no, like if you spin an a Linux instance, so there will be something like a category called DevOps. In that it will support something like Nago is a monitoring tool, okay, Jenkins, Gradle. So it is a build tool. Like that, it has capability to these are the built-in tools basically. There will be instances that will be set up with this one, and these are verified by the vendor itself. Means like if Jenkins is working on this DevOps, sorry, Azure, right, they will build the setup. They will make sure, right, there won't be any bugs and it is good enough to run your project. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about regions, availability zones, right, and this one all we discussed. Okay, so we'll discuss about like what is virtual machine. It is a software which emulates your physical computer. Okay, so today, right, we will see like now I'm creating one. Now I want to create one machine. Okay, in cloud, this is my cloud. Okay, under which there will be some hierarchy basically. The hierarchy is something like in cloud there is something like region. So okay, correct. So there will be something like region you will be selecting as like US, India, or like UK, or some region you have to select. In that you have to select availability zones. Okay, in cloud I have to select one region. Okay, in that region every region will have a minimum of 3 availability zones. So in these 3 availability zones I have to choose my machine. Okay, like let it be some, I'm creating some Windows machine or like Linux I will be creating. I'm creating my Linux machine. Now, if I create my Linux machine, even in office or in wherever, you will be choosing something like what is the hardware configuration. What is the hardware configuration means how much RAM it should have, how much hard disk it should have. These are the basic things, no? So you will be setting up what is the hardware that is required, like RAM or CPU or okay, RAM, CPU and disk, and you will be choosing the operating system. Okay, operating system is being chosen here itself, right? Okay, and you will be assigning some IP address. Okay, you will be choosing some IP address over to it. What else you will do? If you put your machine in office or in home also, you will be assigning only this one, no? Within a network it should have some network, because it should be reachable, no? It will be it should have some network. These are the basic parameters which you will consider while installing your machine, either in office or in home, right? You should have some hardware configuration, disk, some IP address to communicate if it is present under router, and it should have some networking mechanism to communicate with other machine. Same thing, same hierarchy also will be followed in the cloud itself. Okay, in cloud, region, availability zone, and your configuration. Apart from that, right, you will be like, if I take hardware, no, cloud, in cloud you can choose multiple options. You you can choose, if it is a disk, you will be having multiple disks, out of which you have to select something. Okay, yeah, we'll see. If I will if I want to log into Azure, it should be something like portal.azure.com. I think I have already logged in into this machine, into this site. Okay, normally you have to give your username and credentials. Okay, 1 second, I want to show this pricing calculator is there, right? Just give me a second. In pricing calculator, no, these are all the services that are being present, no? The same thing, if you click on, this is the UI basically. If you click on the left navigation menu, this pane, you will be having all those services over here. Okay, you can search over here. Here we have to choose all services, all resources. We have to click on this all resources. Then the user will be presented with all the resources. Okay, just a second. Why it is not showing up? Hmm, just a second. Yeah, these are all the services. In compute, whatever the things you have seen in that pricing calculator, in compute you will be having these many options. In networking you will be having these many options. So these are the services that are being offered by the Azure. In storage you are having these many services. If you go to web, you will be having these many, like app and API management. Okay, in mobile you are having something like, in containers you are having something like Kubernetes. Okay, container registry, registers. Okay, in databases it offers these many varieties of databases, that includes like Azure SQL, SQL database, SQL server. Okay, Azure database. These are the different variety of the databases it supports. In analytics, like that, you will be having like wide variety of services, and it is like no one knows everything. Okay, everyone will be working on their expertise. Oh, if someone is working on DB, they have to know about the DB. If someone is working on compute, if he's a developer, he has to know about this. Like if he's working on Kubernetes, he has to know that service. Okay, if someone is working on this admin, he has to troubleshoot and install that stuff, he should know. So it is not mandatory, like you should know everything, but no one knows also. Okay, now we'll go back to the old home screen. Here you can search your service. So now I want to create my virtual machine. So for that, what I will do, right? I will create something like, okay, I have clicked on this virtual machine. This is the pane where I can create my virtual machine. So for creating a virtual machine, I have to click on add and I have to select this virtual machine. As I told, whenever you create a virtual machine, you will be having two things. One is the subscription, one is the resource group. Any service or any resource, whatever you create, it will fall under this one. As is there, I am using the free trial account, so I am selecting the free trial. Here I don't have any resource group. I will be creating a new one. I will be creating something like demo. Okay, now I have to provide some, basically I told here have to, I will be selecting region, availability zone, hardware and software configurations. The same thing I will be doing in this menus. I will be creating one machine, so I will name it as Linux. Okay, now I have to select the region. I told first I will be selecting the region. After that, availability zone. This is the region. So there are like multiple regions that are being present as part of the free trial account, right? Free trial, you will be allowed to create your instances only in particular regions only. It doesn't support all, as it is a free trial. Okay, I am leaving it as default. There will be something like availability options. Here, if you see, what is this availability options is, if you select this drop down, right, you will be having something like availability zone and availability set. Availability set I will explain later point of time, but we'll stick with this example. Whatever I told, I will be selecting the availability zone. In that, there are some 3 availability zones, out of which I am selecting one availability zone. Means I have region availability zone. In that, I am creating, if you consider 1, 2, 3 as 3 availability zones, I am creating on my first availability zone. Now I have to select my software and hardware configuration. So by default, it is coming with Ubuntu. If I want to change also, I can change my operating system. So if you see here, these are the most frequent used operating systems, okay, which are pre-populated by Microsoft.
Sir,
Okay.
availability zone based on like free zone, it will allocate, or can we choose, or
No,
is
you have
there
to choose
any?
by yourself. There is some option,
Okay,
no?
okay,
1, 2,
okay,
3.
okay,
You can choose.
okay, 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 okay. That's like instances, right? Like,
No.
okay.
This is
Oh, sorry, sorry.
availability zones means like
Zone.
this. What I told. If you
Okay,
take India as one region, no. If you
okay.
take Hyderabad, Chennai, and Mumbai, no, where you want to
Yep.
create,
Hyderabad.
something like that, some region. If you take
Okay,
availability zone as Hyderabad, you'll be having multiple options, but they won't disclose where the data center is present
okay,
because
okay,
it is due to the security reasons. If everyone knows
okay,
now, if something happens, right, then
okay.
there will be impact to the complete company, right?
Actually, yeah, actually, I just seen like some UST and those regions. Okay, there we have, right, availability op region is US EST, but
Ah,
availability option, availability zone, yeah,
yeah.
that
This is
region
something like
we
you
can
can,
select.
yeah.
Select.
In everything, you will be having availability zones. Like even
Okay,
if you
okay,
take Asia Pacific or Europe or whatever, this if you are located in India, you can take anything. As it is a free trial account, I'm not going to change.
yeah, yeah. It won't give us those accounts. Okay.
Yeah, no, it will
So,
give. You can
sir,
select, but
Azure, do we have any in Asia, like Verandal? We have actually in India. We have any data center for that?
yeah, we have in Hyderabad, we have 3 data centers, Mumbai and something like
Okay, okay,
north, south, and like some west or something we have.
okay,
Okay.
okay, 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 okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir, you carry on.
Yeah. So this is the image. Basically, we'll call it as an image. Okay, this is the instance, like operating system. Okay, here if you see, right, if you click on this see all, it will give you like lot variety, more varieties. You can choose your operating system. Like here you will be having like more. If you see here, not see more something, you will be having like hundreds and hundreds of operating sorry, this categories. Okay.
Okay, server images.
Yeah,
Okay.
like images means like operating systems. Okay.
Yeah,
Oops, I
okay.
listed. Okay, virtual machine learning. Okay. 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 Demo, and I'm selecting some availability zones. I'm choosing one. Okay, this is the different sizes. Okay, basically you will be charged 5K if you use this. Okay, so this
Uh,
is what they have given, and there will be like multiple. If I expand, no,
okay.
you will be having lot variety. You can choose your VM size over here, right? There will be some categories like DS1. So if I can sort it out, right? Because these are part of trial account only. Okay, so there will be like multiple series like M and all those, where you will be having, if you see, the RAM size is going to 2000 GB, and the cores are like, sorry, here the disks are like
64.
64. Yeah, so this is the IOPS. We'll come to that, but you can choose your, there will be different series and different specification. Each series has different specification. We'll come to that later. Okay, for now, right, we'll stick with the same
That is
whatever.
based on the requirement we can provide, right?
Yes,
That's
yes, I will tell you.
okay.
Maybe that will be lost. Okay. Okay, so I'm going with the default one. Okay, so there will be two types of, now I have created my hardware and I'm having one I've selected one machine and I have to log into that. There will be like two types of authentication mechanisms that is being offered. One is like you can choose your password itself. Like either you can use SSH, or this will generate a key. It will generate a certificate basically. Using this certificate you can log in. That is first option. Second is, right, you can create your username. Okay. Okay. Here it should, it is saying like it needs something like 12 characters. I will take something like, yeah, admin. Okay, so I will keep rendering. Okay, I'm creating a test user and I have given some password. Okay, there will be something like inbound ports. Okay, so there will be one more formula, actually one more simple logic. Whenever you put something in cloud, okay, whenever you put it in something in cloud, right, you will take some preventive measures such that hackers should not hack the system. Okay, for that, right, there will be some two rules. Okay, one is, okay, I'll put it in this way. This is my machine which is present in my cloud. Okay, this is my Linux machine. Now there will be two types of traffic. Whatever the traffic that is coming into the machine, that is called as like inbound. Okay. Okay. And the traffic that is going from the server, that is called as outbound. Means if some traffic is, this is the terminology, if some traffic is coming into the network, that is called as inbound traffic. If the traffic is going out, means if the request comes to the server, that is a inbound traffic. When the server sends the response, that is a outbound traffic. To put it simple, if you request something from the server, that is inbound. If the server sends the response, that is outbound. By default, all the cloud providers, like whether it can be Azure, AWS, or everyone, right? They will by default block everything for inbound. For outbound, allow everything. Okay. If let us assume if you are running some web server, it runs on 80 port, then you have to enable that 80 port, then only the traffic will be served. Now you want to do some SSH to a machine. SSH happens via port 22. If I don't put this, if I don't enable this port 22, right, you can't access the VM. Okay, so these are the inbound and outbound rules that are being set while creating any virtual machine in cloud, irrespective of the cloud provider. Okay, so here you will be selecting this inbound and outbound ports. If I select a none, no, what will happen? Nothing will be, you can't do anything. You can't log in or you can't do anything. If I select allow selected ports, no, here there are some options like SSH, means I will be able to log in. If I'm running some web server, I can use either HTTP or HTTPS. If that web server is having some certificate, no, then it will be HTTPS, else plain HTTP. Okay, so for now my goal is to just log into the server. That's why I'm enabling port 22. Means inbound port or inbound rule, I am enabling this 22 port. I am selecting this one. Okay, here as I mentioned, here I have to select the disks. Okay, for now I'm not giving any explanation over here. I'm just giving something like, I'm selecting something like standard HHD. Okay, because these are the low cost disks. Okay, and there will be something like encryption. I'm not going to change, this is too early to discuss. I'm clicking on next. Okay, here in my diagram I told, I want to create a network. Whenever I create a VM, no, it should have some network. So it is creating a network for me, and it is creating a subnet. We'll discuss about this subnet and all those in future. But one thing, right? Public IP. Okay. There are two types of IPs that for any machine that is present in cloud. Okay. Those are public and private. Okay. For any machine which is hosted in cloud, means let us assume like this is Linux machine 1. Okay, and this is Linux machine 2. In order to communicate between them, right, there are two options. To say in a simple example, everyone will is an IT employee. Okay, and if you take in hotels or in hospitals, no, what you will have, right, you will be having the direct mobile number and an extension. Okay, so if you dial the exact mobile number, no, what has to, how it happens, the communication happens, it has go to the tower and it has to like take that long path, and you will reach that person. Like if you are calling from a person to a person B, okay, if you can dial via direct number, If you dial via direct wire number, it has to travel all the towers and it has to come back to that network. There will be something like an extension. If you dial extension, no, there will be some setup that will be present in that premises only, and that will take care of routing between that premises only. In the same way, you will be having two IP address. One is public, second is private. So private is something like a private IP is something like an your extension, means it will be reachable within that network. Okay, public IP is something like your actual landline number. This can be reachable from anywhere. Okay, so for the communication between, like, if this is my network in my region, this is my network, I am virtual network I am creating. Okay, this is the, in that region, in that availability zone, I am creating one virtual network. In that virtual network, I will be having some subnet. In that subnet, if this wants to communicate with this one, right, for internal communication between instances, you will be using the private IP. Okay, means here I am having some app server, here I am having some DB server. Okay, this is the DB server. Okay, so application user will hit the application server and the application will talk to the DB server. Means as this application server is communicating with the person in the cloud, it should have a public IP and a private IP. Because this DBI server is not accessible, we have to, for security reasons, now what we will do, right, we won't give any public access. Only this machine will be able to talk to this DB server. That's why we will give only the private IP for this one. So in the same way here, whenever you create a network, right, whenever you create an instance, right, you will be asked whether you need a public IP or none. By default, a private IP will be created for every machine, but you have to choose whether you need a public IP or not. Okay, so this NIC and all those are fine. Click on management. Next, I'm not going to change anything. Okay, we'll come to this later. Okay, 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 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'm entering my mobile number. Just a second, guys. I will be sharing my screen. Okay, so what will happen, right? First, right, it will check whether whatever the configuration you have entered is proper or not. So it will show a message like validation passed, means you have chosen multiple options, no? So first, Azure will check whatever you have entered is right or wrong. Okay, then then you have to click on create. Now what will happen now? There will be one process called, there is one service called, I'll show this. Where I kept. Basically, there will be one service. Yeah, no, not this one. Yeah, Azure Resource Manager. Okay, basically what it will happen, right? Whenever you create any resource via portal, there are like multiple ways you can create some resource, like you can create a VM or you can create a database or anything. It can be created in multiple ways, either in like portal or like using PowerShell or Azure CLI or like REST clients. You can create a service. Basically there will be a service called Azure Resource Manager. This will create your underlined services whatever you have defined. Okay, so whenever I will click this thing, no, like create, what happens, right? That Azure Resource Manager will take care of creating your services. Now it I have clicked. Okay, now if I go to this virtual machines, no, here I will be able to see my VM. Okay, see, this is the Linux instance which I have created. Okay, so if I click on this, okay, if I click on this Linux machine, right, here it will show me something like the details whatever I have entered. Okay, it will show me the subscription, that is free trial, and this is subscription ID, and this is the availability zone, and and it will show something like the public IP address. This is the public IP address which is being assigned, and if you come down you will be having something like a private IP address. Okay, this won't change, but this public IP address will change. Okay, so there are like multiple options to explain, but okay, first we'll log into this machine. Now I want to log into this machine, so what I will do, right, I will copy this public IP. If you want to access any machine, right, Linux machine, you should have something like a putty, or some people call it as putty. You can download that SSH client from here. Oh, it is YM 1 MB. Yeah. Okay, just a second. I'll copy that into my desktop. So I have copied my putty into my desktop. Now what I have to do is I have to take the public IP. So this is my public IP. So I'm clicking on accept. I have given something like test user, and I have to give the password. See, I have logged into the machine that is hosted in cloud. Now I will be getting the normal. There will be like two types of users. One is the normal user and other is the root user. You can give something like now I got the root user. Now I can update the packages. I think this is the command apt. This is a Ubuntu, right? I'm familiar with the Red Hat Linux. If apt-get or I will put something like or. Okay, so basically I don't know like how I forgot like how to like if someone knows, no, just to ping me the command to upgrade the packages. If it is a Linux, now just we can install like a yum upgrade. If I give, all the packages will be upgraded. So basically our thing is, our agenda is to just log into a Linux machine. Okay, once you get Linux right, you can do whatever you want. Hope it is clear. So if you see, if you take the theory part, so like there is a checklist that is being prescribed by the Microsoft, like where what is the network you have to use, what is the name you have to use, and decide the location, what is the size, whatever I have mentioned, no, and we have to select the operating system and the storage. So those things, and in the next class, no, I will be discussing about this one. Like the I told you, no, there will be like different types of instances. There is something like general purpose, computer optimized, memory optimized, and storage optimized, and high performance compute. So when okay, I'm stopping the instance. Okay, okay, later I can delete it. Okay, so I will go back to my virtual machines. When I click on add, here we have seen some option like different sizes. Here you are seeing, right, basically like different configurations and all those, no, like D series, B series, and all those. Okay, so if you put in any cloud, even in Azure or sorry, even in Azure or AWS, right, these are categorized general purpose, computer optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, and GPU. So the concept is the sizes and the abbreviations will be different. So in here you are having for general purpose like B, D, DV. There you will be having like in AWS you will be having something like T, T3, T2, something like that. M. Okay, this sizes will change, but general purpose will be used for your best suited for your application servers. Okay, and medium sized databases. Okay, general purpose suits well. Computer optimized, when you have to choose this computer optimized, we have to choose when you need high processing power. Means for your operations, if it requires like high computing, high CPU, right, then you will be going with this computer optimized. Memory optimized is something like you need more RAM. Okay, it will be more suitable for the like RDBMS. Why it is used for RDBMS? No, in some applications like there will be design something like you will be having some DB and you will be having one RAM. So if user is sending multiple requests, like multiple users are sending, like I'll put this in this way. Now some new mobile got released. Okay, some iPhone new version got released. Everyone will be clicking the same mobile, like there will be like millions of requests coming to the database, and there will be one table, in that there will be one row, and everyone will be fetching that row. So there will be some multiple read operations that will be happening in that particular row. Instead of that, right, what we can do, right, we can put that in that memory. So this data, whatever is present, right, that will be loaded into the memory, and whenever a request comes, the data will be served from the cache itself rather than going to that memory into the table. So that's why you need for memory optimized, right? For RDBMS and all those, right? For analytics and all those, you need like more memory machines. Storage optimized means if you are going for a big data, okay, for analytics, right? NoSQL databases, like they will grow like anything. Data warehousing. So those systems will choose this storage optimized. GPU is something like gaming, like you need high graphics operations, like you are doing some video editing or some gaming you are designing, okay. So if you want to simulate and all those, right, normally you will use in your laptop also, you will take like high end like i10 or some that processing power machine. In the same way, right, you will be selecting some good GPU machines, and there will be something like a high compute machines which will be used for like high throughput, okay, high throughput operations. So basically whatever you are seeing in the UI now, that is categorized into this one. In any cloud, in AWS also, you will be having general purpose compute, memory, storage, and GPU. Okay, maybe you won't have this high performance compute, but I didn't remember. But there also you will be having same, but this sizes will be changing based on the naming conventions that Azure has put or AWS has put, but the description or the purpose remains the same. So I told, right, this one selecting an operating system. Okay, but this one I will explain like when we are creating a Windows. Okay, this is for Windows only. This is like too early. Tomorrow, yeah, this availability sets and all those we'll discuss tomorrow. That's it for the day.